All right. So our writing lesson for today is that writing an informational book is like baking a cake. Weird, huh? So you might want to grab your notebooks to take a few notes on this. And I'm going to share my screen. And I'm just going to share a portion of my screen. There we go. And bring it up here, not that one. Let's see here. Yes. So first of all, I'm just going to show you the info writing assignment for this week. So if you look at week 2, it says that on Monday, we talked about researching and taking notes, working from a big topic to specific. And then on Tuesday, we all wrote our general introduction with a hook. Hopefully you started those in class. Hopefully you guys all finished them after class. So you need to make sure you have that done this week. And then today's lesson is about how we're going to keep researching and taking notes and force ourselves to write a little bit every day. Now we use this word elaborate a lot, which means to write long, combining research, our own thinking, and explanations. Today, I'm going to talk about how you want to look for facts that are important, not just interesting. And I've made a slide deck of this lesson. So today it won't be a video. Well, I might put the video on too, but there's a slide deck. And then there's all these thought prompts, which I thought I had fixed this, but they go on forever. And these are actual things I would like you to write into your essay. I would like to hear you say, this is important because, this is like, another reason is. And if you forget where these are, they're right in the lesson for the second week. And then at the end of the week, you're going to submit a link to your Google Doc or Google Slideshow. If you've already done that, you don't have to do it again. But I'm going to be looking to make sure I've got links to everybody's show. And actually, if you have time to do it again and it's easy, it's helpful to have them all in one place, because otherwise I have to check back and see if you have that. So now I'm going to go to my slideshow. All righty. An informational book is like a cake. Is that super blurry if I do that? Not too blurry? Is it okay? All right. So a recipe for great informational writing. The ingredients are your information, of course, which is the topic, the facts, your sources, your books, your articles, your videos, whatever you're getting information from. But now that we're in 4th grade, that's not all we need for a good informational book. We need our own thinking, your thinking. And then plus transitions, language that glues it all together. So let's take a look at what I mean. Start with the basics. The structure of your essay is kind of like a cake bowl or a pan. It shapes your writing. We've already started out and we got all organized and we're taking notes and we have our introduction, we have our title, and that's awesome. It also includes important information. So what I mean by that is when you're reading a lot, books have a lot of information and some of it's important and some of it is just to catch your attention. So when I'm reading like this everything weather book, they've got a question here that says, how much does a cloud weigh? Well, that's not a really, really important question, but that is sort of interesting and I can get distracted by it. They also love to tell you records. Kids love records. Oh boy, that's really weird looking. So in here, they have a whole bunch of records. The fastest wind on record blew 231 miles per hour. Well, that's super interesting, but that might not be that important. So you need to ask yourself, is that information going to be really important in the long run, or is it just something sort of distracting? What I can compare this to is like when you're looking for ingredients for your cake, maybe you're a kid who just loves Jawbreakers and thinks, oh, I love Jawbreakers. I'm going to put Jawbreakers in my cake. And I love chocolate and I love lemons and I love cherries and cinnamon. And I'm going to put all that in my cake. How delicious is that cake going to be? Yuck, right? Because cakes need basic ingredients. They need eggs. They need butter, they need flour, they need sugar, they need baking soda. So all of those are the basic ingredients of your informational writing. If you're writing about weather, you're going to have to talk about what causes the weather, where they have different types of weather. If you're talking about the Oregon Trail, You're going to have to talk about why people went on the Oregon Trail, who went on the Oregon Trail, you know, all of the basics. So you want to make sure that you've included the basic information and facts. These are like the main ingredients. All right. Let's switch. There we go. But some kids will write me an essay and it sounds something like this. The Oregon Trail happened in the 1840s. Many people went on the Oregon Trail. People on the Oregon Trail used wagons. Wagons had axles. The axles had wooden wheels. The wooden wheels had steel rims. Many people died on the Oregon Trail. And it's just a whole lot of facts listed with none of your own thinking in it. You guys, that would be like making a cake and not putting in any filling or any frosting. It would just be dry, boring cake. And that kind of writing where you just list a whole bunch of facts is pretty dry and boring. And so to bring it to life and make it more interesting, you've got to add your own thinking. That's kind of like the filling in a cake, the part between the layers. This is the facts, but then this part is your own thinking. Here's where you raise the level of your writing by adding all of the things that you think. Tell why you chose this information. Why is this information important? What should your reader understand? Use these thought prompts to help you do this well. And you have a link to this. If we were in class, I would have given you a bookmark with these thought prompts on them. And these thought prompts would have been up in the front of the room. Because the truth is, we don't have to reinvent ways of showing our thinking. Other people have already written these words and they're really helpful. You will find things like this in informational books, and you should have writing like this in your book. So take a look at this list. What I mean by this is important because this is like. Another reason for this is this connects with. Let me explain this to you by saying an example of this is, if this wasn't true, then I wonder, for example. And the other fun thing we do in class is you would pair up with a partner, and maybe we'll try this right now. And we would practice talking about our topic. So everybody right now, think of your topic. And I'm not going to have you go into breakout rooms because I didn't make a copy of this document for you. But right now, with your screen muted, I want you to practice using some of these sentences. So you guys are gonna say your topic. For example, who would practice this with me right now? Who will help me do this to show you what I mean? Can I have Alex? Can you do it since you're right there and you're my helper? Alex, can you hear me? You don't want to do it? Is there somebody who wants to do it, wants to ask me questions? I can't see your hands. There we go. How about Subi? So Subi, I'm going to tell you my topic, and then you just read the first question, okay? So I'm going to say my topic is the Oregon Trail. So now read me the first sentence, Subi.
What I mean by this is?
What I mean by this is the Oregon Trail was a really important event in our state's history because it brought a lot of people out. Now read me the next one.
This is important because?
This is important because before the Oregon Trail, it was mostly Native people living in this area, but the Oregon Trail enabled all these European settlers to come and sort of like invade and take over the area, which really changed the future for the Native Americans. Read me the next one.
This is like
if I walked up to your bedroom and said, this is a great bedroom. It has salmon, it has forests. I like this bedroom so much, I'm gonna take it. And you can leave. Go ahead, read me the next one.
Another reason for this is?
Another reason that people came west on the Oregon Trail was to try to get land. They had really gotten crowded in the eastern part, and because of the Louisiana Purchase, they were able to expand. Okay, I'm gonna stop now, but now it's your turn, everybody. All of you should have your microphones muted so you can talk out loud. I'm gonna be looking at your mouths to see if you're talking, and you need to answer these questions. So right now, say your topic that you're writing your book around. I'm writing about, I should see your mouth moving. Good. All right, and add on, what I mean by this is. Go ahead and repeat what I said and add on. Good, I see talking going on. Okay, it looks like we're coming to a close on that. Add on, this is important because. All right, I see most of you finished that one. This is like. See if you can come up with an analogy or a metaphor. This is like. What else is it like? Deckard, what is football like? It's like a battle. No, keep yourself muted. Just try to answer it in the room. Okay, try the next one. Another reason for this is. Now I'm going to skip down the list to one that says, I used to think, but now. Used to think, but now. How about this one? One part that confuses me is. All right, friends, great job, excellent. So what I would tell you in class is if you were in class right now, I would make you grab your notebooks and write all that down that you just said, because that's your own thinking and that needs to be in your informational book. So today at some time, I want you to look at these sentences and see if you can add a lot of that kind of writing to your informational book. So now we have the basic ingredients. We have the facts, the information. We've got the filling, which is your own thinking. But there's still one thing left to really get this cake finished. What do we need? What does a cake need on top? Go ahead, just say it.
Decorations.
Decorations, right? Let's see then, what part is that in an essay? So in an essay, the final ingredient is frosting, transitional language to glue it all together. This is the part where you have my first reason, my second reason, another way, finally, in conclusion, all that nice transitional language that glues it together. Now, how many people wouldn't like to eat that? So we end up with a cake that has layers. It has cake, it has filling, it has frosting and decorations. That's your information, your ideas, and your transitional language. I'm going to stop my share and stop. Well, I'll keep the recording going for a minute to ask if anyone has questions about that. I don't see questions. Okay. So you should have started your writing this week. If you wrote a half a page in class or on your own on Monday, and a half a page, like your introduction and your hook on Tuesday, that would be a whole page. Then yesterday you should have written a half a page. You should have about a page and a half written in your book. That's not a ton, but by the time you add a half a page today, that'll be 2 pages, and a half a page tomorrow, that'll be about 2.5 pages. How many people have more than that? Cheer if you've got more than that. If you have less than that written, then you need to be thinking, oh my goodness, I better get on it because I'm not very far behind yet, but if I just keep putting it off, it's not going to go away. Okay? So don't freak out too much. If you are confused about writing it, then you need to come and talk to me tomorrow. I will be online from 9 to 11 and you can come and ask me questions. All right. I'm going to